release. The suits are to help make sure that they don't become too tame. It's all designed to keep the crane chicks wary of human beings. They mustn't get used to seeing the human form. The aim is to release 20 chicks a year for the next 5 years into the Somerset wetlands to quickly establish numbers. A tiny group of wild cranes in Norfolk has struggled to grow enough to become sustainable.
Cranes take a few years to mature, so we won't be getting the first breeders until 3 to 5 years from now, and they only produce 1 or 2 babies a year, but we hope that by 2020-25 we'll have 25 breeding pairs around the Somerset levels.
The crane's reintroduction is feasible because of the improvement in wetland habitat which groups such as the RSPB have fought to establish. It's an ambitious plan, but conservationists are confident that this can be the start of a success story. Jeremy Cook, BBC News, Slimbridge.
Now, is it going to be warm enough for those chicks to thrive, Susan?
Well, it's not been too bad today, Tim. 22 this weekend, though. I think we'll all be heading under the feathers, the duvet in my case, because it's going to get a lot cooler for Saturday and Sunday. Bank holiday Monday, perhaps not so bad. This evening, though, lovely, really, across much of the UK. Some late sunshine, temperatures still in the mid to high teens. Through the evening, though, and overnight tonight, the westerly or southwesterly breeze will just plump up the clouds to the north and west of the UK, and by the time we get into Thursday morning, that will start to bear rain across the southwest of England and Wales, and some showers are also possible across Scotland. Mild, though, as promised, lows between 8 and 14 degrees Celsius. So in we go to the southwest of England to start our day on Thursday, and grey skies here and outbreaks of rain, perhaps not especially heavy, but really rather persistent for a good part of the morning. The same story for Wales, that rain gradually creeping further north and eastwards. For Northern Ireland, some early sunshine, probably the best of that to the lee of the Antrim Hills and the Sperrins. Quite a lot of cloud around, but at least a largely dry start to the day. For Scotland, it's sheltered eastern areas again that get the best of the sunshine, so to the east of the Grampians, down into the borders. Further west, a chance of a few showers. For northern England, the cloud perhaps thick enough in the west to squeeze out the odd light spot of rain or drizzle. To the east of the Pennines, some brightness. The Midlands clouding over through the morning. East Anglia and the southeast at least starting the day, though, with some sunshine. And I think it will feel actually quite warm here during the early part of the day. As the day goes on, though, the cloud and rain start to move their way eastwards. So a different day, really, for the southeast of England and East Anglia, especially after the sunshine today. A lot cloudier on the whole, though, for Wales and the remainder of England. Outbreaks of rain from time to time. Scotland and Northern Ireland showing some signs of improvement, actually, with those bright spells and just a few showers. But temperatures edging down. They edge down a shade more on Friday as well. Some quite heavy rain potentially by this stage working its way into the west of the UK. But it's in time for the weekend that I think actually a little bit of a shock to the system, really, as temperatures fall away. The reason for this, well, a wet and windy start to the weekend across southern areas of the UK. Low pressure around on Saturday. The rain has the good grace to move away for the second half of the weekend, but then as high pressure builds from the west, we start to pick up a northerly wind. So this is what the next few days look like. Today, 22 degrees Celsius, as I said, warmest day of the year so far. Our average for this time of year is 13. Saturday, Sunday, down below average we go. Well, many of us, temperatures struggling to get into double figures by the time we get into the weekend. So some big changes to come in our weather. More on that as ever on the website, or hit the red button right now if you like.
The election on the BBC, making it clear.
Gordon Brown calls a voter a bigoted woman, a major embarrassment on the campaign trail.
All these Eastern Europeans what are coming in, where are they flocking from?
Grandmother Gillian Duffy had confronted Mr Brown on the economy and immigration, and they parted on good terms. But once in the car, it was a different story from Mr Brown.
What did she say? Oh, everything. She's just a sort of bigoted woman. Said she used to be Labour.
The moment Mrs Duffy is told what the Prime Minister had said.
What did I say to be bigoted there? What was bigoted in that, what I said?
Gordon Brown's reaction when the BBC played back his own words. And a personal visit to say sorry.
I'm mortified by what's happened. I've given her my sincere apologies. I misunderstood what she said, and she has accepted that there was a misunderstanding, and she's accepted my apology.
Also on tonight's programme, shares take a hit around the world, fears that debt-ridden Greece could drag Europe into trouble. The simple test that could expose the first signs of bowel cancer. Thousands of lives could be saved.
Later, I'll have all the sport, including it's all over for Steve Davis at the Snooker World Championship. Neil Robertson ended his surprise run to the quarter-finals with a 13 frames to 5 win.
Hello and welcome to the BBC's News at 6. Gordon Brown says he's mortified after being recorded describing a voter he'd met as a bigoted woman. His remarks were picked up without Mr Brown's knowledge as he drove away from the encounter with Gillian Duffy, a lifelong Labour voter. Mrs Duffy, a grandmother, had challenged the Prime Minister over immigration and benefits near her home in Rochdale. Here's Nick Robinson on a major embarrassment for the Labour Party as we approach the last week of the campaign.
Hello, how are you? No, come and have a talk with me. How are you getting on?
They said he wanted to meet more ordinary voters. After all, what on earth could possibly go wrong?
It's a nice area, though, isn't it? It's a nice area, isn't it?
My family have voted Labour all their life.
Yes, yes.
My father, even when he was in his teens, went to Free Trade Hall to sing the red flag.
Yes.
It started well enough when Mrs Gillian Duffy, a widow from Rochdale, was introduced to Gordon Brown by her local Labour candidate.
Why are you going to get us out of all this debt, Gordon?
We've got a deficit reduction plan, cut the debt by half over the next 4 years. We've got the plans, have been set out to do it.
He seemed happy to talk, so she moved on to the subject which voters worry about and their leaders tread nervously around: immigration.
6 months.
You can't say anything about the immigrants because you're saying that but all these Eastern Europeans what are coming in, where are they flocking from?
1 million people come from Europe, but 1 million people, British people, have gone into Europe. You do know there's a lot of British people staying in Europe as well.
The two parted on apparently good terms. The Prime Minister warm, attentive and concerned on camera. But now listen to what he really thought when he was in private, but still wearing his TV microphone.
It's a disaster. Well, just... Okay. Should never have put me with that woman. Whose idea was that?
I don't know, I didn't see her.
It's Sue, I think. They're just ridiculous.
I'm not sure if they'll go with that one.
They will go with it.
What did she say?
Oh, everything. She's just a sort of bigoted woman.